At 78, Benny Andersson finally broke his long-held silence, revealing the emotional truths behind ABBA's glittering success. For decades, fans only saw the joy, the choreography, and the catchy melodies, but behind the dazzling image, Benny carried a private world of sorrow and emotional distance. He admitted that the very songs that made millions dance were often born from his inner pain, a way of expressing what words couldn't. Each melody, harmony, and chord carried fragments of his unspoken feelings. While the world celebrated ABBA's polished perfection, Benny was using music as both shield and survival mechanism, turning heartbreak into shimmering melodies that captivated listeners. The duality of joy and sadness became the hidden signature of ABBA's sound, the architect of ABBA's sound. Benny's musical journey began long before ABBA became a global phenomenon. Born in Stockholm in 1946, his early experiences were grounded in the folk tunes and church harmonies of his hometown. Unlike many young musicians who pursued fame, Benny was drawn to structure, harmony, and the emotional power of music itself. His partnership with Björn Ulvaeus was a perfect marriage of talent. Björn wrote the narratives and lyrics, while Benny composed the emotional soul behind them. Together they created songs that were deceptively simple on the surface, yet layered with melancholy and depth. Benny's perfectionism in the studio ensured every note resonated emotionally, making even ABBA's happiest hits like Dancing Queen carry an underlying trace of sorrow that only deepened their impact. Love, betrayal, and songs that spoke for him. Benny's personal life was deeply intertwined with ABBA's music. His romance with Anni-Frid Lyngstad, known affectionately as Frida, was filled with both passion and creative synergy, infusing the group's early songs with raw emotion. But as fame grew, so did the strain. Benny's meticulous pursuit of perfection clashed with Frida's open emotionality, and the pressures of celebrity life exposed cracks in their relationship. Rumors of infidelity and personal conflict eventually led to the collapse of their marriage. Yet the heartbreak wasn't wasted. It became fuel for their music. Songs like The Winner Takes It All mirrored the pain and complexity of their experiences. Benny admitted that the honesty of lyrics often surpassed his ability to communicate directly, making music his true voice when words failed. The hidden rivalry within ABBA. While fans speculated about tensions between Agnetha and Frida, Benny revealed the real conflict was internal. The public adored the two women's voices and beauty, but Benny, as composer and arranger, often felt invisible. His genius behind the music was overlooked, critics dismissing ABBA as light pop and failing to recognize the emotional depth he embedded in each track. The imbalance between contribution and recognition created frustration and a quiet sense of invisibility. Benny's need for acknowledgement clashed with the public perception of ABBA as a glamorous, carefree pop group. This silent struggle fueled his later solo projects, including Chess and Christina from Duvemola, where he finally had the creative freedom to pour unfiltered emotion into compositions that reflected both his artistry and his inner battles. Songs as survival mechanisms. Benny now openly reflects on ABBA's legacy with honesty, reframing the perception of their music. The joy that listeners experienced was real, but it existed alongside sorrow. Each hit, each catchy chorus, was a survival mechanism for four people navigating heartbreak, fame, and personal struggle. Songs became conduits for emotion, a safe space to process what could not be said aloud. Benny's confession illuminates the dual nature of ABBA's artistry, outwardly effervescent and universally loved, yet deeply personal and sometimes melancholic. This complexity is part of why their music endures, resonating with audiences across generations. ABBA's timelessness lies not just in melody, but in the way it mirrors human vulnerability, longing, and resilience. The cost of perfectionism, was both Benny's strength and his burden. In the studio, he pursued flawless harmonies, meticulous arrangements, and emotionally rich melodies, demanding the same level of commitment from bandmates. While this pursuit produced music that transcended eras, it also deepened personal tension, especially as relationships within the group strained. Benny often felt misunderstood and underappreciated, his contribution overshadowed by the band's public image. Yet this same obsession with precision allowed him to craft songs that spoke universally, bridging personal pain with collective joy. The emotional complexity beneath ABBA's hits is a testament to his dedication, showing that behind pop perfection often lies a delicate, sometimes painful artistry that few fans ever glimpsed. Revisiting the past. In recent years, Benny has revisited ABBA's history with clarity and reflection. He no longer hides the emotional cost of their success. Speaking candidly, he acknowledges that fame, personal heartbreak, and relentless work schedules shaped both the music and the men and women behind it. The band's story is not simply a tale of glamour and triumph, but a nuanced portrait of human struggle, perseverance, and creative brilliance. Benny's revelations invite fans to reconsider ABBA's legacy, seeing beyond the sequence and synchronized dance moves to the raw emotion embedded in each note. Their music, Benny explains, was never just entertainment. It was a lifeline, a bridge between private pain and public joy. Legacy beyond the spotlight. Today, Benny Andersson's influence stretches far beyond ABBA's chart-topping hits. His later works demonstrate a deep understanding of narrative, emotion, and musical craftsmanship. By channeling personal experiences into compositions, he shows how art can transform pain into beauty, how structure can house vulnerability. Benny's story underscores an essential truth. Creators often labor in quiet invisibility, shaping culture while remaining personally unseen. His journey encourages appreciation not just for ABBA's outward success, but for the layers of emotion, struggle, and artistry that made it possible. In recognizing Benny's perspective, we understand that even the brightest melodies may conceal the most profound human truths. Music as emotional honesty. Reflecting on ABBA's trajectory, Benny emphasizes that their songs were more than catchy hooks. They were expressions of honesty. While the world danced to their tunes, Benny and his bandmates poured private anguish, hope, and longing into every lyric and melody. The emotional honesty embedded in their music transcends time and culture. Songs once perceived as pure joy reveal new dimensions when we understand the hidden heartbreak behind them. Benny's story reminds us that art can communicate what words often cannot, serving as both mirror and messenger. Through music, he captured the essence of human complexity, joy intertwined with sorrow, connection shadowed by invisibility, and creativity forged in the crucible of personal struggle. Reframing ABBA's impact. Ultimately, Benny Andersson's reflections invite a reconsideration of ABBA's cultural impact. Their global success was not accidental, but the product of extraordinary talent navigating extraordinary pressure. By acknowledging the pain behind the polish, Benny reframes the band's story from one of superficial joy to profound emotional resonance. fans can continue to celebrate the music while appreciating the human vulnerabilities it represents. ABBA's songs endure because they capture life in its fullness, moments of happiness colored by sorrow, perfection tinged with imperfection, public adoration hiding private struggle. Benny's honesty transforms ABBA from a pop phenomenon into a testament to resilience, artistry, and the enduring power of emotional truth. Enduring through silence after decades in the public eye, Benny Andersson now speaks not for fame but for truth. ABBA's story, he reveals, is about survival as much as success. Each melody, each harmony was a way to navigate inner turmoil, personal disappointment, and relational complexity. By finally sharing his perspective, Benny allows audiences to see the human story behind the glittering image. The joy, energy, and timelessness of ABBA's music remain intact, but they are enriched by the knowledge that the band's creators carried hidden burdens. Benny's journey illuminates the enduring tension between public perception and private reality, reminding us that behind every iconic song, there may lie a quiet story of pain, resilience, and ultimately, hope.